Today, we will talk about the importance of an emergency fund. How much should you save? Life is full of uncertainties, and financial stability is often tested by unexpected events. Whether it's a sudden job loss, medical emergency, major car repair, or unforeseen home expense, having a financial safety net is crucial. This safety net is commonly known as an emergency fund. An emergency fund is a stash of money set aside to cover unexpected expenses, helping you avoid debt, stress, and financial instability when the unexpected happens. In this guide, we will explore the importance of an emergency fund, how much you should save, and practical tips for building and maintaining your fund. 1. Why is an emergency fund important? A. Financial security. The primary purpose of an emergency fund is to provide financial security. In the face of unexpected expenses, having a reserve of cash can prevent you from going into debt. Without an emergency fund, you might be forced to rely on credit cards, personal loans, or even borrow from friends and family. These options can lead to high interest rates, strained relationships, and long-term financial burdens. An emergency fund ensures that you have the resources to handle emergencies without derailing your financial plans. An emergency fund acts as a financial safety net, helping you manage unexpected expenses without resorting to debt, which can have long-term negative consequences. By having this fund in place, you can maintain financial stability and avoid the pitfalls of high-interest debt or strained personal relationships. It's a crucial component of a solid financial plan, ensuring that unexpected costs don't derail your progress toward other financial goals. B. Reducing stress and anxiety. Financial stress is one of the leading causes of anxiety and can negatively impact your mental and physical health. Knowing that you have a cushion to fall back on can provide peace of mind. When emergencies arise, instead of panicking, you can calmly assess the situation and make decisions based on what's best for your well-being, not just your wallet. C. Flexibility in career and life choices. An emergency fund gives you the freedom to make choices that align with your long-term goals rather than being dictated by immediate financial pressures. For instance, if you're unhappy in your job, having an emergency fund allows you to consider leaving without the fear of immediate financial ruin. It also provides the flexibility to take advantage of opportunities such as relocating for a better job or investing in further education. D. Avoiding high-cost debt. One of the biggest financial traps people fall into is accruing high-interest debt during emergencies. Credit cards, payday loans, and other high-cost borrowing options can lead to a cycle of debt that is hard to escape. With an emergency fund, you can cover unexpected expenses without resorting to borrowing, thus protecting yourself from debt and its associated costs. 2. How much should you save in an emergency fund? The amount you should save in your emergency fund depends on various factors, including your income, expenses, job security, and personal circumstances. Here are some guidelines to help you determine the right amount. A. Basic rule of thumb: 3 to 6 months of living expenses. A common recommendation is to save enough to cover 3 to 6 months of living expenses. This means if your monthly expenses, including rent/mortgage, utilities, groceries, transportation, insurance, and other necessities, total $3,000, you should aim to have an emergency fund of $9,000 to $18,000. B. Consider your job security. If you have a stable job with a steady income and benefits, a 3-month emergency fund might be sufficient. However, if you work in a volatile industry, are self-employed, or have irregular income, you may need to save 6 to 12 months worth of expenses to account for potential income gaps. C. Assess your financial obligations. Your financial obligations, such as mortgage payments, loans, or dependents, should also influence the size of your emergency fund. The more responsibilities you have, the larger your emergency fund should be. For example, if you're the sole breadwinner for a family, you may want to aim for the higher end of the recommended range or even exceed it. D. Health and insurance coverage. Consider your health and the adequacy of your insurance coverage when determining your emergency fund target. If you have high medical expenses or inadequate insurance, you should plan for a larger emergency fund to cover potential out-of-pocket costs. E. Personal comfort level. Ultimately, your personal comfort level plays a significant role in deciding how much to save. Some people feel secure with 3 months of expenses saved, while others prefer the peace of mind that comes with a larger cushion. Assess your risk tolerance and save accordingly. Emergency fund acts as a financial safety net, helping you manage unexpected expenses without resorting to debt, which can have long-term negative consequences. By having this fund in place, you can maintain financial stability and avoid the pitfalls of high-interest debt or strained personal relationships. 3. Building and maintaining your emergency fund. A. Start small and build consistently. Building an emergency fund can seem daunting, especially if you're starting from scratch. The key is to start small and build consistently. Set a realistic initial goal such as saving $1,000 and gradually work your way up to 3 months of expenses and 6 months and beyond if necessary. Automate your savings. One of the most effective ways to build your emergency fund is by automating your savings. Set up an automatic transfer from your checking account to a dedicated savings account each payday. This way, you're consistently contributing to your emergency fund without having to think about it. Use windfalls wisely. Whenever you receive unexpected money such as a tax refund, bonus, or gift, consider allocating a portion of it to your emergency fund. These windfalls can significantly boost your savings without affecting your regular budget. Keep your emergency fund accessible but separate. Your emergency fund should be easily accessible in case of an urgent need, but it should also be separate from your regular checking account to avoid the temptation to dip into it for non-emergencies. A high-yield savings account is a good option as it keeps your money safe while earning some interest. Replenish after use. If you have to dip into your emergency fund, make it a priority to replenish it as soon as possible. Rebuilding your fund after an emergency ensures that you're prepared for the next unexpected event. 4. Common challenges and solutions. Competing financial priorities. It's common to feel overwhelmed by competing financial priorities, such as paying off debt, saving for retirement, or funding an emergency fund. A balanced approach is essential. If you're carrying high-interest debt, consider splitting your focus. Allocate a portion of your income to debt repayment and a portion to building your emergency fund. Inconsistent income. For those with irregular income, such as freelancers or gig workers, building an emergency fund can be more challenging. In this case, it's crucial to save more aggressively during high-income periods to compensate for leaner times. Setting a higher emergency fund goal, such as 6 to 12 months of expenses, is advisable in these situations. Low interest rates. While interest rates on savings accounts are generally low, the primary purpose of an emergency fund is security, not high returns. However, you can still shop around for high-yield savings accounts or money market accounts that offer better rates while keeping your funds accessible. The temptation to spend. It can be tempting to use your emergency fund for non-emergency expenses, such as vacations or large purchases. To avoid this, clearly define what constitutes an emergency and commit to only using the fund for those situations. Keeping your emergency fund in a separate account can also help reduce the temptation to spend it. Conclusion. An emergency fund is a cornerstone of financial security. It provides peace of mind, it protects you from debt, and gives you the flexibility to handle life's unexpected events with confidence. While building an emergency fund requires discipline and time, the benefits far outweigh the effort. By following the guidelines outlined in this guide, you can determine how much to save and develop a plan to build and maintain a robust emergency fund. Whether you're just starting or looking to increase your savings, remember that every contribution brings you closer to financial stability and peace of mind. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. Before you go, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.